Okay, guys, so for lesson 11, I couldn't find a help video that I liked, so I just decided to make one of my own. So, Kara, so we're going to solve one problem, kind of like what we did in class, and talk through how to solve it. So, I got Kara is participating in a fundraiser walkathon. She walks 2 miles in 30 minutes. If she continues to walk at the same rate, determine how many minutes exactly it would take her to walk 7 miles. And we're not going to use a double number line. Just like in your homework, you don't have to use a double number line because that's not how we were solving them in class. So remember, in this lesson, we are still taking our equivalent ratios, but in this one, instead of having our constants and our numbers be whole numbers, sometimes they're going to be fractions because in the real world, not everything's as pretty as we see in math sometimes. So let's go ahead and see. So we have our first ratio right here, and our ratio is 2 to 30 of miles to minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and write that again down here, 2 to 30. And then I'm going to make this equivalent to if she walks 7 miles. So I got is equivalent to blank to blank. And then I know that my first one is talking about my miles. And I know that my second one is talking about my minutes. So I know that my first one over here and my second one over here are also going to have to talk about miles and minutes. So that means that where I have my miles, I'm going to put my miles of 7 miles. Now I just have to make equivalent ratios. So we know that whatever we multiply by our first one to get to 7, we also have to multiply by 30. So let's go ahead and figure out 2 times what number equals 7. Or today in class, we also talked about how this can be looked at as 7 divided by 2 equals what? So I can either do long division of 7 divided by 2, which would be 2, 6, 3, 3, 6, 1, and 1/2, which would be 3 and 1/2, or I can just leave it as 7/2 as my answer. And that's what I'm going to do. So if I take my 2, I have to multiply it by 7/2 for me to get to my 7. So that means that if I multiply it by my 2, I also have to multiply it by my 30 to get my unknown number, my number that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and do this 30 times 7/2 over here on the side. So we're going to multiply 30 times 7/2 on the side. So to be able to multiply fractions, first off, both of our numbers have to be fractions. And how do we make a whole number into a fraction? We need to put it over 1. So I'm going to now multiply 30 over 1 times 7 over 2. And to multiply fractions, we just multiply straight across. So we're going to multiply our 30 times 7 over our 1 times our 2. So our 30 times 7 is going to give us 210, and then our 2 times 1 is going to give us 2. So now I got 210 over 2. I know that these are both multiples of 2, so I can go ahead and divide out a 2. If I divide out a 2, I'm going to get 105 over 1, meaning that this just equals 105. So that means that 105 minutes, in 105 minutes, she can walk 7 miles. So that's our final answer. She can walk 7 miles in 105 minutes. And that's our answer. I hope this is helping you. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment. Have a great day. Bye, guys.